405. And finally, your South 405, if you were thinking about it, boy, from north up down to the 101, up and over the hill, it's just one of those slow morning drives. Everybody went that way. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Ball, KFI in the sky.
The deciding Game 5 of the National League Division Series between the Dodgers and the Giants happens tonight. Mookie Betts was asked by a reporter why he thought the team always played it with that when they were in these do-or-die situations. But Mookie wasn't interested in really talking about that. He was interested in getting the job done.
I don't know. I don't know. I would like to not get my back against the wall. I'll have a conversation with her. We got to win Game 5 first.
The Dodgers will start Julio Urias against the Giants' Logan Webb. First pitch at 6:07 live on AM 570 LA Sports. Brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good time. I'm Wayne Russell, KFI Sports. As much as we like Southern California, termites love Southern California more. Why? Because they don't deal with traffic. They just come into your house and have your house for lunch. And dinner and breakfast and snacks. So it's not a question of when, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when you get termites. And once the infestation starts, the damage starts immediately. I mean, they start eating and they don't stop. Let me suggest calling Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. Now, if you know you have termites, small piles of sawdust on the floor, bugs flying around, that's an easy phone call to make. I mean, you need the help now. But if you call Pacific Coast Termites, come out for that free home inspection, one of two things happen. One, they tell you don't have termites. Great news. Or you do, and we just caught him. Early days, that's when you want to treat with a termite. And they do it without tenting, which means no double bagging your food, no pet sitting. You don't have to worry about going to a hotel. Your house doesn't look like it's Cirque du Soleil with that tent around it. You don't want that to happen. I've done that. It's a nightmare. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com, 800-PACIFIC.
Pacific Coast Termite, kills termites.
The clean, friendly way.
Sunny today. Highs in the low to mid-70s at the beaches, mid-70s to mid-80s for Metro LA, the Valleys, Orange County, and the IE. A few degrees warmer tomorrow. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Chris Little.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Gary. Medicare annual enrollment is here, and it's time to keep your Medicare moving forward with SCAN Health Plan. SCAN is a comprehensive Medicare Advantage plan with new cost-saving benefits. Plans for 2022 may include $125 monthly give-back, lower out-of-pocket costs, more included dental coverage, and more. To learn more, call SCAN Health Plan at 1-855-479-7226, TTY 711, or ask your local agent about SCAN. Call SCAN to see if you qualify. SCAN Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in SCAN Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
How are those Solar Max panels treating you?
I love it. I went with Solar Max years ago. I just wish I went sooner with all the money I saved.
Right now you can get from Solar Max Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month and zero down.
Dial pound 250 and say Solar Max or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSW number 97240.
LA Kings hockey is back on October 14th as the Kings kick off the season against the Vegas Golden Knights. All fans in attendance receive an LA Kings t-shirt presented by Valley Sports West. Tickets are available at lakings.com/opening night.
American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com. There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win, no matter whose idea that is. At KFI AM 640, we give you all the news you need and a variety of opinions. You make up your own mind. See
beholden to no one. Live, local, and independent, KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you. KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here. It is a Thursday morning, October the 14th. Tonight, the Dodgers, Game 5 of the National League Division Championship, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, unless you're a Giants fan, I think Gary Hoffman is a Giants fan, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, go Dodgers. Like I can't. But I should. Rent relief is a big issue and has been a big issue during the pandemic. And in California, you still have tenant relief. And eviction protections in California are now tied exclusively to whether a tenant applies for rental assistance. Tenant has to apply. And so now advocates are saying to the state, let's take a closer look as to who's being left behind and not applying and why. And here is a shocker. The tenants that are living in the most precarious conditions, that's immigrants who don't speak English, speak limited English, don't have a traditional lease, face digital barriers, no computer or the skill to use computer. They're not applying, not at the same rate. According to the Vice President of Research at Policy Link, it's a nonprofit that tracks data of this stuff, she says, everything shows you it's people who are already more vulnerable to the pandemic. They're being left out of this program, which means, of course, you have nonprofits that are jumping in. There's a coalition of tenant advocacy groups have filed a complaint with the State Department of Fair Employment and Housing saying language and disability discrimination is what is causing this disparity where immigrants are being left out. Now, come on. It's discrimination. I don't even get what that means in these terms. If you have a problem applying because of a language barrier or skill set, there are nonprofits that will help you out. Are you actually going to sue for discrimination? I guess so. The complaint, which is now in mediation, points out a bunch of problems. Non-English speaking applicants have to navigate English-only pages before finding an application in their own language, a portal in their own language. Poor translations from an over-reliance on Google Translate. And I've seen Google Translate where just English, for example, a hard time defining it. For example, I don't know if you've ever tried to Google Sofa King and see what you get. Or Phuket, Thailand. There's a problem there. And so you also have gaps between the number of applications received by non-English speakers and the demographics. And so in June, the state did the same thing that DMV has done. They made a series of applications, changes, making it easier for these tenants, dropping multiple documentation requirements, and now you just do it on one page basically, professionally translating the web pages, and where it used to be only available in English and Spanish, which of course Spanish being a second language, it's going to be a first language at some point here in California. Also, it's in Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, and Tagalong, which of course is just one of the better cookies that the Girl Scouts produce. And now your driver's license, you want to get a driver's license? The driver's test is and vote, particularly, you want to vote, it's in 31 different languages. I mean, there are languages you never heard of in the voting booth. Well, to a lesser extent, the languages dealing with the application for rental assistance. And the numbers are even dropping. Even though there are nonprofits and the lawsuit is going on and the California Department of Housing and Community Housing and Development says it spent more than $1 million on ads just reaching the Asian language speakers. And there's 144 local organizations it has contracted with to help out the Asian community, the people don't speak English. But let me give you a stat. In June, 82 of the applicants marked English as their primary language. In September, that number increased to 86, which means that English-speaking applicants are growing in number, and you have the minority applicants. They're not applying. Why? Because they don't know how, because they don't have the skill set, because they don't speak English. That's why Chinese applicants dropped from 1.5% of the applicants to 1%. Spanish-speaking applicants dropped from 13% to 11%. And what ends up happening is as more and more people are applying, it's English speakers that are applying. And it is a huge gap. So we go to the 2019 census. 50% of low-income renters speak English at home. Only 50%. A third of them reported Spanish, compared with 11% of the applicants. So you have a third speak Spanish, and a third of that are applying because they either don't speak English, don't know how to navigate the website, or are unaware that the program is available, or assuming that they are illegal, scared to death, involved in any governmental entity or service for fear of being deported. And of course, they don't. The rental assistance program doesn't ask whether you're legal or not. Certainly the schools don't ask when your kid goes to school. The courts don't ask. The IRS doesn't ask. So illegal aliens actually are far safer today than they've ever been. However, they don't get assistance. They are not entitled to welfare, for example, per law. But they are entitled to this, the rental program, and they're not getting it. But suing on the basis of discrimination, suing the state, come on, really? It's a lawsuit as opposed to just helping them out? Just outright programming. You really want to call it discrimination? I guess so. If someone speaks some Asian language, Hmong, for example, does that mean that if you don't have the application in Hmong and you don't have the services to help people out fill in the application, that is, per definition, legal discrimination? You know, I don't get that. But help has to be, but that's where I think the nonprofits are there. The California bullet train. We haven't talked about the bullet train for a while, have we? And let me tell you what's going on. Here's the latest coming right up. This is KFI AM 640. Let's check in with Chris Little.
United Airlines employees who are suing the airline over its vaccine mandate will get more time to make their case. A federal judge in Texas ordered United not to place unvaccinated employees on unpaid leave if they're trying to get a medical or religious exemption from the mandatory COVID vaccine. An FDA advisory panel is due to make a decision on whether to recommend approval for booster shots of the Johnson & Johnson and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. And a judge in California is partially blocking an order taking effect this week that requires state prison employees to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. We'll see what's up on the 5 with the KFI and the Sky next.
Annual enrollment of Medicare starts tomorrow, which means you can either switch programs or sign up for Medicare, but navigating Medicare can be overwhelming, which is why I'm suggesting you call AGA Medicare Options, and their experienced agents will advise you step by step on a program that fits your unique situation and budget. You're just different than your neighbor. And since Medicare, the program itself changes dramatically sometimes year to year. It changes every year. You got to figure out which program is best for you, which program is the best to sign up for. AGA will help you find plans that are accepted by your physicians, cover your medications at the lowest out-of-pocket cost. They'll make sure you're on the best plan or will be. That's a benefit review. It's free. Call, set up that free benefit review, dial pound 250 on your cell and say the keyword My Medicare, pound 250 on the cell and simply say My Medicare. Visit AGAMedicareOptions.com, AGAMedicareOptions.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 on risk. Results $8 million for leg-injured motorcyclists.
Now, Chicken Sasquatch, also vary, no guarantee.
Southern California weather from KFI. Sunny today. Highs in the low to mid 70s at the beaches, 70s and 80s inland. This report brought to you by iaccidentlawyer.com. Jeff Boz checking out the 5.
Oh, boy, we got lots of traffic out here this morning. Hope you're on time here. Yes, indeed. The southbound 5 now wasn't in big trouble earlier this morning, but coming down from the 170 all the way down to 134, it's okay. Slow but moving, all lanes open. By the way, the Tuxford on-ramp is temporarily shut down. South 170 Roscoe, that's where the big problem is. Since pre-dawn, only the carpool lane open. Back up through the 118, get on the South 170 at Sherman Way. That's my best advice. Also, eastbound 91 now, going north over towards Cerritos before the 605 at Clark. 2 right lanes was blocked there, back up 710. And the problem we're over right now is north 605 before Slauson. Carpool left lane blocked, back up to the 105. If you can get on the north 605 at Slauson, you'll be okay. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, AFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by AIS Insurance. Abraham, it looks like you called AIS and saved a ton of money on your car insurance.
I saved $800. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Done.
Sign me up and done at AISinsurance.com. 1-800-774-AIS.
Attention homeowners. Is your current loan amount between $300,000 and $822,000? That's right, $822,000. If so, today's 15-year fixed rock bottom rate is 1.99%. That's right, 1.99% rate in APR. And if that's not enough, Interactive Mortgage will even pay your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. No points and no fees. Absolutely zero. No, nada. So what are you waiting for? Get a 1.99% rate on a loan up to $822,000 today. Call Interactive Mortgage now at 844-371-CASH. That's 844-371-CASH. 844-371-2274. Or visit interactivemortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. New client loan. $300,000 to $822,000. Minimum FICO is 740 and maximum LTV of 60%. All loans subject to underwriting approval. And not all applicants will qualify. Loans and loans with the California Finance Law License number 603 FNG. NMLS number 302252.
San Manuel Casino is changing games and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. With 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at Yamaba.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
If you thought you missed the lowest mortgage rates in history, you're in luck, because they're back. Mortgage rates are near historic lows again. So if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 15-year fixed rate is 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Now, second chances don't come often, and you may never see these rates again. So, refinance it and forget it. That's a 15-year fix at 1.75%. Yes, 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Call the experts at Network Capital now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. Not licensed in all states. Visit FinLessConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the Financial Law. Number 603-787. And equal opportunity lender. License change and minimum available law. Discount may apply. Subject to approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, Cyclist. Ibrance 125 milligram powder with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. See in your needs. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs, cold disease, and use of gas. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, poor mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite. When you don't have a boss, when you don't work for anyone, but you work for everyone, for companies all around the world, when you're not full time, what you often find is that you are fulfilled. And that keeps snacks in your office kitchen any day. Free your career on the world's work marketplace. Okay, up we go.
The mayor applauded LeBron James for publicly disclosing that he's been vaccinated.
Who the hell is waiting for LeBron James? Members of the public who think he's a hero. Because LeBron James, this is how celebrity work, has so much experience in epidemiology and medicine and virus research. John into it. Yeah, I'm going to wait to see what LeBron does before I get a vaccine. Unclear. Here on Thursday, October the 14th, LA City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas has been indicted on federal corruption charges. You know, we have a good history of LA City Council people getting indicted. Go figure. And the Alicia fire up in Santa Barbara, 15,000 acres now. And what did you say, Chris? 5% contained? But yeah, which is nothing. Which is nothing. There's no wind.
We're going for like 20.
Yeah, and if there's any kind of wind activity going on, be prepared for it to blow. A story about the California bullet train that I want to share with you. The Democrats are debating whether we even go forward with it. And here's part of the debate. I haven't heard this before. Let's take the California bullet train and take out the bullet part. And it's going to be a train. And $100 billion for a train is a lot of money from LA to San Francisco. And right now, the first part, I think it's Merced to Bakersfield, is in the tens of billions of dollars. Now, a quick word about Merced to Bakersfield. The people who are on that train, like who use that train for transportation between those two places, are generally people who have a date with a suit and hoping to score that night. Short of that, no one goes from Merced to Bakersfield. Certainly at the cost of $10 billion. What do you think the payback period is on that one? Huh? When do you think we're going to be able to pay that back? So right now, Democrats within themselves are having during negotiations to release about $4 billion in bond money that's being held back for the project because the project is so over budget. And I mean just ridiculous over budget. Originally it was budgeted at $33 billion. Now we're talking about $100 billion. The California High-Speed Rail Authority, which is going to be a low-speed rail authority soon, said it needs the money to continue beyond next summer. Now, the governor included that money in the state budget, but talks have stalled, and it's the latest setback. How unusual. So today, the vision of shuttling passengers between LA and San Francisco, less than 3 hours, and that's the bullet train. That's gone. That's gone. I mean, no one's even thinking that that's going to happen anytime soon. And let me put it this way. That first rideable track, the first leg connecting two cities in the Central Valley, right? And they said Bakersfield, sex education, won't start until 2029. That's when you're going to be able to have sex pursuits. I'm telling you, this is not good news. You talk about a boondoggle. And I'm a big fan of let's just do it. Jerry Brown has said a couple of things when he was governor. And he said, sometimes you just go for it because it's there and that's what government does. That's what NASA did with the moon program during the Cold War. President Kennedy said, let's just go for it because that's what we do. By the way, you know when he made that announcement? Is right after Alan Shepard took a 3-minute ride into space. And he called for the moon program. Because that's what governments do. Which is why Jerry Brown is so much in favor of the bullet train. Because it's more aspirational than anything else, but at $100 billion, that is more than just aspirational. So what they're talking about is literally just going to be a regular train. And incidentally, the train is going to go 200 miles an hour, or whatever the hell it's going to go, still has to stop at stations, still has to use regular tracks, because you do tracks all the way through. The rail authority still hasn't bought some land that's out there. The design changes constantly, the change orders. This is what the contractors are saying when they're getting that. Saying, look at the change orders. I mean, that's just cost, and you're nailing it with change orders. We just don't do rail very well. You know, the first high-speed rail, the bullet train in Japan, 125 miles an hour. I mean, that's a neat ride. I've been lucky enough to go on it and pass Mount Fuji, and it's just spectacular. Also, if you go to France, for example, in TGV, that goes 200 miles an hour. And it's, you go across France in 8 hours, north to south, Paris, Lyon, or Marseille, and it's wild. They know how to do it in Europe. They know how to do it in Japan. The high-speed rail. So here's the problem with high-speed rail. Just want to let you know, it's scarier than hell. You're zipping along at 200 miles an hour. The train going past you on the other side of the track is going the other way at 200 miles an hour. Now, when they cross, it's a blip. I mean, clearly, because they're crossing at 400 miles per hour, basically the speed of an airliner, and you're on the ground. You're not up at 30,000 feet. And every time I've been on that train, I'm thinking, what if there's a head-on collision? Because someone misdirected the train and put it on the wrong track? What is a collision at 400 miles per hour? Well, my guess is you're never going to know, even if it happens, because you're not just banged up and you die, you are vaporized. So it happens pretty quickly. But can you imagine a train that goes 200 miles per hour, goes across a country? Well, in reality, LA San Francisco is that many countries are a lot smaller geographically. But in France, it's quite the distance, and they were able to pull it off. So we're not going to have a high-speed rail. We're going to have a regular speed rail. And it's going to cost more money than you could ever imagine. And it'll never pay for itself. Coming up, COVID and a vaccine. And this time it's Trump who are saying, no thank you, and I'll share that story with you. In the meantime, this is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
If you find yourself agreeing with everything we say, we're doing it wrong. KOST-832.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
SoCal politicians indicted. I'm Chris Little, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA City Councilman and former LA County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas has been named in a 20-count federal indictment. The 35-page court document alleges Ridley Thomas used his position as a supervisor in 2017 and 2018 to funnel county contracts to the University of Southern California and put pressure on fellow supervisors to give favorable treatment to the university. In exchange, Ridley Thomas's son would get a full-ride scholarship and master's degree from USC and a paid professorship. The indictment also includes an allegation Ridley Thomas used USC to launder money from his campaign through the university and into a nonprofit run by his son. Ridley Thomas is due to be arraigned in the coming weeks. Steve Gregory, KFI News. News brought to you by Rooter. News brought to you by Rooter Hero. More than 40 birds injured in the oil spill off the coast of Orange County have died. World Wildlife Care Network's Dr. Jamie Shirley says the number of dead birds has grown from what was initially reported, as there's usually a delay in the birds being affected by the oil.
Some of these animals are able to compensate for a little while. You know, they can stay away from land. They're still able to eat a little bit. And then, you know, unfortunately, over time, they start to become more debilitated. And once they're more debilitated, that's when they turn into the store.
Shirley says the number of injured birds being found is starting to go down. 2 birds that were injured in the oil spill were released yesterday. Like Troll Report at News. A man accused of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl in Corona has been arrested. Police say the man was on a bicycle yesterday when he rammed the girl and knocked her down. He then took off the dress he was wearing and exposed himself. The girl got away and ran to the school bus. The naked man took off in the bike and was caught near the school. The TSA has been busy confiscating illegal items from people's checked bags at airports. ABC's Andy Field says screeners have found more than 4,600 guns in bags so far this year.
That's nearly 100 more than the year before. Passengers also packing pistols in their carry-ons, with the TSA finding 11 firearms for every million passengers in those bags. That's nearly twice as many as 2019.
The TSA says more than 80% of the guns found were loaded. Penalties for trying to take a gun through a checkpoint start at about $2,500. For an unloaded weapon, up to 10 grand for a loaded gun. A couple flying Southwest Airlines from Texas to Las Vegas say they were surprised to find out why they were asked to pay extra for an overweight bag. Jared Owens says when they opened the bag, the couple's chihuahua popped out of a boot. Icky likes to burrow, they say. Some friends showed up at the airport, took Icky home, and the couple made their flight to Vegas. Cops in Florida have arrested the father of a toddler who found a loaded gun in his Paw Patrol backpack and shot and killed his mom while she was on a Zoom call. Investigators say the 2-year-old shot his mother in the head. They say there was another kid at the house at the time. The shooting happened in August. Cher has sued Sonny Bono's new widow in federal court for allegedly, I wouldn't say new widow, but widow in federal court for allegedly withholding long royalties from the singer. Sonny and Cher recorded 21 singles, including I Got You, Babe, and the beat goes on. In the 1960s, the duo was married and divorced in 75. The lawsuit alleges they agreed to split revenue from the songs they recorded together, but that Sonny's fourth wife has undone Cher's ownership of those rights and royalties. Cher wants at least $1 million. From the Southern California Toyota dealer traffic center, we make it easy. You got a crash on the 605.
Yeah, indeed. We got two cars here. I come to you with a little good news. It's been just a dreadful morning here. But listen up. First, Santa Fe Springs, northbound 605 before Slauson, just north of the 405 of the 5, excuse me. Had half the freeway shut down. All lanes have been reopened. That's the good news. Yes, it is back up from the 105, but might as well stick with the freeway to get back up to speed. And going through Bellflower, more good news here. Eastbound 91 o'clock before the 605 had half the freeway shut down, then all the freeway. All lanes have been reopened here. Still slow coming right from the 710. By the way, eastbound Artesia Boulevard, the easy alternative there, that got quite busy. Now, we've got to go back to Panorama City, but boy, a long morning problem. South 170 Roscoe. We believe only the Corporal lane still is the only one that's open. Even the eastbound Roscoe on-ramp is shut down. Really back up to the 118 on the 5. More on that coming up. Don't go away. Insured International. Visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, AFI in the sky.
The winner of the National League Division Series will be decided tonight as the Dodgers face the Giants at Oracle Park. Julio Urias will start for the boys in blue, who will face the Giants' Logan Webb. And Cody Bellinger and his body are ready for action.
I've been feeling good. I felt good towards the end of the season, and just try to carry that into the postseason. And body's feeling good, and I'm just trying to help the team win.
First pitch at 6:07 live on AM 570 LA Sports. Brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo, good time. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
I suggest you take a hard look at the interest rates you're paying on your credit cards, car loans, or anything else. With today's low mortgage rates and rising home values, why not refinance with Owning? Pull some cash out of your home and take control of high-interest debt. Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or log on to owning.com. In minutes at no cost or obligation, our experienced agents can tell you how much money you have sitting in your house. Then refinance at today's 30-year fixed, 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. And use some of that low-interest money to pay off debt, do things around the house, or for anything you want. Your house may be your piggy bank.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation in the South and Residential Mortgage Lender. Subject to credit approved for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for commission. Equal housing loan.
Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or log on to owning.com. That's 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com. Hey, it's Jerry. Medicare annual enrollment is here, and it's time to keep your Medicare moving forward with Scan Health Plan. Scan is a comprehensive Medicare Advantage plan with new cost savings benefits. Plans for 2022 may include $125 monthly gift back, lower out-of-pocket costs, more included dental coverage, and more. To learn more, call Scan Health Plan at 1-855-479-7226, TTY 711, or ask your local agent about Scan. Call Scan to see if you qualify. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is up 457 points. The price of a gallon of regular gas is $4.45.
Bay Alarm security systems can change with your business, so you're right for now and ready for the next.
We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Chris Lewis. KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here. It is a Thursday morning, October 14th. Tonight, the Dodgers, Game 5 of the National League Division Series. And Scare is suing Sonny Bono's widow over song royalties. I Got You, Babe. What's the other one that some other big? I had it on my mind. Now there's 3 or 4, and I've forgotten. I'm not a big Sonny and Cher fan. I want to tell you about the police department in a little town, a suburb of Baton Rouge called Baker in Louisiana. And there are 40 cops that work for the town. Half of them tested positive for coronavirus. And all of them recovered, except one guy, Lieutenant DeMarcus Dunn, who got sick, 36 years old, coached youth sports, died on August 13th, one day before his wedding. And the chief, I had assumed that the lieutenant, Dunn, was vaccinated, but thought it was inappropriate to ask. Well, Lieutenant Dunn, in fact, tested positive, contracted the disease, got very sick, and ended up dying. And then all of a sudden, whoa! And a lot of the rest of the force decided they were going to be vaccinated. So far, 460 American law enforcement officers have died since the start of this pandemic. And as far as the death of cops is concerned, by far the most common cause of duty-related deaths in 2020 and 2021 has been COVID. More than 4 times as many cops died from COVID than from gunfire in that same period. And so clearly the departments are trying to persuade officers to take the vaccine. But one of the biggest groups that is vaccine hesitant or anti-vaccine are police departments. Why? Well, I've got, some theories, and that is police are pretty conservative, usually, politically speaking. I mean, they, from what I understand, they vote pretty conservatively, Republican. And today, the politics of vaccinations are the more conservative you are, the less you are going to be vaccinated, because it has become, obviously, a political issue. So with freedom, no one can tell me what to do with my body. Interesting. When it comes to vaccinations, no one tells you what to do with your body. When it comes to abortions, they want to tell you what to do with your body. Big difference between abortions and vaccinations. Because vaccinations don't kill people. Lack of vaccinations kill people. And more departments are considering requiring their cops to vaccinate. So the cops and their unions have pushed back. And the threat of resignation or simply flooding the system with requests for exemptions. See, that's the problem with all of these mandates. And that is, the exemptions are medical, which is legitimate, or personal belief, which is wide open, which means that if you're anti-vaccine, all you have to do is say it's my personal belief, my personal religious belief. God tells me I shouldn't get vaccinated. Even though all of the major religions say that there's nothing inherently wrong with the vaccinations. Matter of fact, the Pope has said, go get vaccinated. So what's going on? Well, as of right now, the cops and the pilots, who are in the same position, have a lot of leverage. Why? Because the cops have job openings they can't fill. There's a dearth of qualified applicants. Because as of right now, they haven't lowered the standards. Yes, LAPD, for example, it's damn hard to become a cop. The requirements are very high, and the number of people who are accepted very low. So the standards haven't dropped, but the number of applicants, qualified applicants, has collapsed. And so a lot of city leaders don't want to take the risk. They mask the first-year officers. Everyone's in the same position, incidentally. Because there are a group of pilots that are saying, we're not going to get vaccinated. And what the airlines are saying, hey, no vaccine, no job. Now, that's playing chicken, because if you have an airline pilot who decides not to get vaccinated, like American Airlines, for example, or Delta, you got to get vaccinated or you're done. Now, are there plenty of jobs out there for pilots? There are. So let me give you a reality check about pilots. They can leave. Let's say they've been with an airline for 10, 15, 20 years. They can leave and get a job at another airline. I mean, there's no question about it. You know what happens? If you're a captain, you go to second officer, and you start at the bottom of the heap again to work your way up. Let me tell you, that's a lot of commitment not to get vaccinated. I mean, that really gets in the way of your career. And obviously, people who are willing to take that risk are, I gotta give them credit. A lot of balls there to do that. Nurses, same position. I mean, the number of nurses who don't want to get vaccinated is enormous. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't get it. But at least the move towards vaccination is moving up. In the end, I mean, we're talking about a relatively small number. Which is the company that has 99%, I think it's American, has 99%